hello there, aloha again from New York City. For my viewers in Hawaii, I promised that I would have an update regarding the local statement from the NWS office in Hawaii, and we do have another statement. This will be the last update for me here in New York City, as I have said before to all my fans again who are going to be dealing with this in Hawaii. I don't think, for me being in New York and most of everybody else in the general 48 states, that it wouldn't be fair to do another update in the wee hours of the morning. So this will be the last update for today, and I will have an update from the NWS first thing tomorrow morning. I'm trying to leave my house here in New York City because I have errands to take care of tomorrow. So I really don't know what time the update will be up for tomorrow, but we will talk about the statement that was just issued about a few hours ago. I'm recording this 15 minutes after 8 o'clock in the evening here in New York. So with that being said, let's read the statement. So the statement was issued at 11:43 Hawaiian Standard Time. So I'm going to assume that is Alaska noon, New York 1, Pacific 1. Now, this was issued about 4 o'clock, so I didn't even get this. I'm first reading it now, so I will read it all to you. Powerful Hurricane Lane continues moving west-northwestern towards the main Hawaiian Islands. Changes to the watches and warnings: none. So, to be very clear about this, I'm going to leave this information right here. So, you want to read this, I'm going to give you a few more seconds. So if you're on a tablet or if you're on a smartphone, I urge you in Hawaii, please take a screenshot of this statement. I'm leaving it now so that way you can read it again on your smartphone or your tablet, because you may lose internet and you want to access this information like, oh no, I don't have it offline. Well, now you'll have it offline. So that's what I'm trying to do for my viewers in Hawaii. So please, once again, there should be a screenshot feature on most smartphones now. Should have it. But if you can, I encourage you to put this image on your screen right now as a computer screenshot. You can use Microsoft Paint. You can search for that on Windows 7, 8, and 10. I know on Windows 10 you have to hit the print screen button with the Windows key. So if you want to do that, you can do that if you're watching this on a computer. You want to email it to your phone, or you want to keep it on your laptop, I encourage you to do that right now. So this is your last chance. If you need to rewind back, I encourage you to do so. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, these are all the warnings and the watches, yes. So now we are going to read this. The storm right now, when this statement was issued, was about 420 miles south-southeast of Honolulu, or about 285 miles south of Kauai Kona. The storm intensity is 155 miles an hour. Movement west-northwestward, or 290 degrees at 8 miles an hour. I did get an update earlier this evening here in New York before 6 o'clock, as I was, making sure to get the information correctly to you all. I did see that the National Hurricane Center did issue this hurricane as a Category 4. So, as I did earlier, and I showed everybody from the GFS model, it looks like the island of Maui is going to get the hardest impact from this storm. So I'll quickly explain that for a second. I'm trying to see if Maui is here. I don't see Honolulu on here at the moment. Yeah, if somebody can help me out here, I would appreciate that. Maybe you can solidify it for me if you're familiar with the Hawaiian Islands. But I'm going to assume, yeah, here's Maui. like I assume. So the GFS thinks it's going to hit Maui, as I showed earlier. We only did the GFS model today because I didn't want to go to another model. So here we go. Major hurricane lane is passing roughly 250 miles south of the Big Island late from the morning, and has started a turn towards the northwest in line with the Central Pacific Hurricane Center forecast. The center of lane will track dangerously close to the Hawaiian Islands from tomorrow, Thursday, August 23rd, through Saturday, August 25th. Regardless of the exact track of the storm center, life-threatening impacts are likely over some areas as the strong hurricane makes its closest approach. Just a reminder, the impacts from a hurricane extend far from the center of the storm, and will slight changes to the forecast track this close to the islands will produce rapid change to the local forecast impacts. The onset of damaging tropical storm force winds on the Big Island could start later this evening, with dangerous hurricane force winds starting in the overnight hours. In Maui County, damaging winds could begin as early as Thursday afternoon, with damaging hurricane force winds possibly starting by Thursday night. On Oahu, damaging winds could begin early as Thursday evening. So, pretty much Big Island, Hawaii is going to see it first, and then Maui County, which again, out of all the islands, I'm really worried about Honolulu, because the GFS said earlier, as I did in the afternoon update, it was going to directly hit Honolulu. So I'm very concerned about that island. Oahu, definitely, from what the GFS did show earlier this afternoon as well, that's where the worst of the storm could be. Okay, on Oahu, damaging winds could begin as early as Thursday morning, with dangerous hurricane force winds possibly extended to on Friday morning. Hurricane warnings may need to be extended for including other islands as lane draws closer. Bands of intense showers and thunderstorms surrounding lane will begin to spread across the entire Hawaiian Islands in the southwest towards the northwest. Excessive rainfall is possible, which could lead to deadly flash flooding, landslides, and mudslides. Flooding can occur even in areas not usually prone to flooding. Storm total rainfall amounts greater than 20 inches are possible. A swell generated by lane will produce very large and rough surf, with dangerous whip currents along south, southeast, and southwest facing shores. Tornadoes and large waterspouts will be possible with this storm, mainly along and to the right of the track of the hurricane. Potential impacts. So, I don't need to get further in depth into it, but I'm going to tell everybody right now during the storm, if you think about driving, don't think about driving. Because, as I said earlier, I remembered how people were being stupid during Sandy, driving out in it, and they wanted to do some storm chasing. If you're a storm chaser and you're not an experienced person, please do not go out and risk your life during the storm, because even though Hurricane Sandy here in New York really wasn't that bad during the storm in a general sense, this one sounds worse than Sandy. This one literally sounds 10 times worse than what Sandy did to the New York City area. So, as I said, when I'm reading this again, literally deja vu of Sandy, except here in New York, we don't get rock slides and mudslides. Hawaii is, of course, a bunch of islands. So once again, please, if your local officials are telling you not to drive, please don't get into your car and think that you're just going to drive along and watch the storm via your car. That's not a great idea. Stay put. It's more importantly, for the reason I'm going to say this now, EMS needs to get to people who could be trapped in their homes during the storm. So again, do not take your car out. And more importantly, don't drive in water after the storm is over, because New Jersey, as an example, a few days after a big rainstorm, I've seen it in the past in New Jersey, the floodwaters stay around for a couple days. Even if it's sunny outside and you think, oh, well, I want to go drive in this. Don't. Your car could get stuck. That's all I'm going to say. Let's look at the wind. That's what I am concerned about. And this is the same concern I had during Sandy. Because my area where I live in New York City, I don't live in Manhattan. I live about 10 miles away from Midtown. So, where I live in an outer borough called Queens, if anybody's wondering, in Hawaii, I live in an outer borough called Queens County. And here in Queens, we have power lines that is literally right by where my studio is, where I'm recording this video. And this is what you should be worried about if you're by a power line too. Because trees could come down. And more importantly, you could lose power. And you could lose cell phone coverage. So I'm urging anybody, if you can get an AM/FM radio available on battery power, please do so. I've actually been listening to some Hawaiian radio stations. I heard one on iHeartRadio today. They said that they actually have multiple ways to stay on the radio. One station claims, I think it was 92.3 in Hawaii. I'm not too sure about this. But I was listening and I think the host was saying, well, we do have a way to stay on the air via satellite. So, if you're in Honolulu, please tune your radio to 92.3 during the storm. As I said, I'm going to be out tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. I have to go to Long Island the next 3 days. So, of course, I'll be here in Queens. I'll be out in Long Island, but I am going to keep you updated on this. I promise. So, again, you also have to worry about trees coming down on houses. I'll give an example. It's possible during a storm like this that the vinyl siding or the siding of your house could get torn off. And my example is, of course, my parents' house during Sandy. Literally a day or two after Sandy came by New York, my dad was devastated that we lost vinyl siding on our house. So it's very possible that if you're in Hawaii and you're a homeowner, I would encourage you to keep an eye on your vinyl siding if your building does get through the storm, because it is possible you could lose that. So I don't really need to get into that that much. But, you know, it's very in-depth. Also, another concern, surge protection. I remember during Sandy as well, Far Rockaway as an example. The Jersey Shore had severe flooding because the riptides got too close, damaged property. So, don't even think about going near the shore, because if you do, bad things will happen. More importantly, if your local elected officials are telling you to evacuate, please listen to them. Or if any EMS is telling you to evacuate, please do so. I did find out from the officials in Hawaii that they are planning to open numerous evacuation centers all throughout the islands. So please remember that. Tornadoes are possible. It is possible. And more importantly, I'm going to say this now. Right now. If you don't think you have to evacuate now, please remember the most important thing to take if you are being forced to evacuate. Please make sure to have all medication ready if you need to evacuate. Please keep your cell phone charged. If possible, like I have, please also charge your rechargeable batteries, as they are very important. And more importantly, don't overreact. Please don't. If you need help from somebody, please do so. Alright, if you are a visitor, please be sure to know the name of the city or town in which you are staying and the name of the county or parish in which it resides. Listen to these locations and local news updates. Pay attention for instructions from local authorities. Yes. And also, more importantly, lightning. Please be wary of that. Also, after the storm, expect a lot of trees to be down. I remembered after Sandy, numerous trees were down, even if it wasn't a tornado. And more importantly, if you can gas up your car, do so. That's what they're telling you. Alright. So the last thing I'm going to read to you is, of course, the next statement will be issued at 6 p.m. Hawaiian time or sooner. I don't know when that's going to be. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. Just remember to take word of advice. Tomorrow, if I have a statement, I will read to you that. If reports are coming in from the storm, I'm hoping most likely on Friday. And this is my big thing I think I can do on Friday, because I'm not going to be out that much, because tomorrow I have more stuff to take care of. But Friday, I should be back here in Queens at a reasonable time to give you all updates. And of course, Saturday, I don't have to leave my house until 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish to head out into Nassau County. So I should be able to give you all updates, no matter what happens. If I need to live stream, if I can't edit like I can do tonight, I will do Google Hangouts. That's what I'll do. If the worst case scenario I have to do to give immediate coverage. So that's why I wrap it up. Just prepare now. You're in Hawaii. It's not going to be a storm you want to deal with. So please take my advice. Listen to your local officials. And unfortunately, I have to say this. Please, if you can, if President Trump issues a statement, please listen to that as well. I can't believe him saying that, which, again, I doubt he's even going to say something about it, because he's too busy on Fox News talking about Michael Cohen when literally we have this situation. So, that should be it for this update tonight. As I said, hopefully tomorrow I can do a quick update. So until the next one, take care.